Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're tackling a topic that affects millions of people, but that many are afraid to talk about: debt. Specifically, we're going to dive deep into how you can get out of debt, and get out of it fast, even if you're not getting a raise or finding a side hustle anytime soon. It might sound impossible, but I promise you, with the right strategy and mindset, it is absolutely achievable. So grab a notebook, and let's get started on your journey to financial freedom. First things first, we need to face the music. You can't fight an enemy you don't understand. So your very first step is to get a crystal clear picture of your debt. I want you to list out every single debt you have. That means credit cards, student loans, car loans, personal loans, medical bills, everything. For each one, write down the total amount you owe, the interest rate, the APR, and the minimum monthly payment. I know, this part can feel really overwhelming, even a little scary. Seeing all those numbers in one place can be a shock. But trust me, this is the most crucial step. This isn't about shaming yourself. It's about empowering yourself with knowledge. You're taking control. Once you have your complete list, it's time to choose your battle plan. There are two very popular and effective methods for paying off debt: the debt snowball and the debt avalanche. Let's break them down. The debt snowball method, popularized by Dave Ramsey, is all about momentum and psychology. With this method, you continue to make the minimum payments on all your debts, but you throw every extra penny you can find at your smallest debt, regardless of the interest rate. Once that smallest debt is completely paid off, you take the money you were paying on it, the minimum payment plus all the extra, and roll it onto the next smallest debt. You create a snowball of payments that gets bigger and bigger as you knock out each debt. The power here is in the quick wins. Paying off that first small debt gives you a huge psychological boost and motivates you to keep going. On the other hand, we have the debt avalanche method. This one is for the number crunchers who want the most mathematically efficient path. With the debt avalanche, you again make minimum payments on everything, but you focus all your extra cash on the debt with the highest interest rate. This might mean you're tackling a large credit card balance before a small personal loan. While you might not get those quick, satisfying wins as early, this method will save you the most money and interest over time. So, which one is right for you? It really depends on your personality. If you need those early victories to stay motivated, the snowball is fantastic. If you're driven purely by the math and saving the most money possible, the avalanche is your best bet. There is no wrong answer here. The best plan is the one you will actually stick with. Now, you might be thinking, that's great, but you said without making more money. Where does this extra cash come from? This is where the magic happens. We're going to find that money within your existing budget. It's time to perform a budget autopsy. I want you to print out your last 2 to 3 months of bank and credit card statements. Go through them line by line with a highlighter, every single expense. You will be shocked at what you find. That daily coffee, the subscription services you forgot you had, the impulse buys online, the lunches out with coworkers, it all adds up, and it adds up fast. We're going to categorize these expenses into needs and wants. Needs are your 4 walls: housing, utilities, transportation, and food. Everything else is essentially a want. I'm not saying you have to live a life of complete deprivation, but for a short, intense period, we need to be ruthless. Can you cancel some streaming services, even just for a few months? Can you commit to meal prepping your lunches instead of buying them? Can you switch to a cheaper cell phone plan? Can you institute a no-spend weekend once a month? Every single dollar you trim from your wants category is another dollar you can throw at your debt. This isn't about punishment. It's about reprioritizing your money to serve your biggest goal: becoming debt-free. Think of it as a temporary sacrifice for a lifetime of financial peace. Let's get even more strategic. Call your service providers. That's right, pick up the phone and call your cable company, your internet provider, your cell phone company, and even your car insurance agent. Tell them you're shopping around for better rates and ask if there are any promotions or a better plan they can offer you to keep you as a customer. You would be amazed at how often a simple 5-minute phone call can lower your monthly bills by $20, $50, or even $100. That is instant money you can redirect to your debt, snowball, or avalanche without changing your lifestyle one bit. Another powerful move is to try to lower your interest rates. This is especially effective for high-interest credit card debt. Call your credit card company. Be polite. Explain that you're working really hard to pay off your balance, and ask if they would be willing to lower your APR. Mention that you've been a loyal customer. The worst they can say is no, but often they'll say yes, which can save you a significant amount of money. Another option is to look into a 0% APR balance transfer credit card. If you have good credit, you could transfer your high-interest balances to a new card that charges 0% interest for a promotional period, usually 12 to 21 months. This allows your entire payment to go toward the principal balance instead of being eaten up by interest. A word of caution. You must have a solid plan to pay off the balance before the promotional period ends, or you'll be hit with high interest rates again. Now let's talk about a big one: mindset. Getting out of debt is more of a mental game than a math game. You are going to have days where you feel frustrated and want to give up. That's why it's so important to visualize your goal and celebrate your progress. Create a visual debt payoff chart and hang it somewhere you'll see it every day, like on your fridge or bathroom mirror. Color it in as you pay down your balances. Celebrate the milestones, like paying off a card or reaching a certain percentage of your goal. Maybe that celebration is a nice home-cooked meal or a movie night at home, not something that costs a lot of money. Share your goal with a trusted friend or family member who will support you and cheer you on. Having an accountability partner can make all the difference. Remember your why. Why do you want to be debt-free? Is it to reduce stress? To be able to travel? To save for a house? To have the freedom to change careers? Keep that why at the front of your mind. It will be the fuel that keeps you going when things get tough. Let's also touch on some creative ways to find money. Do you have stuff lying around your house that you don't use anymore? Old electronics, clothes, furniture, books? Sell them. Use platforms like Facebook Marketplace, Poshmark, or eBay to turn your clutter into cash. A few $100s from a weekend decluttering project can be a massive boost to your debt payoff plan. Also, look at your habits. Can you brew your coffee at home? Pack your lunch? Host a potluck instead of going out to a restaurant with friends? These aren't just about saving a few dollars here and there. They're about fundamentally shifting your relationship with money and consumption. It's about being intentional with every single dollar. Finally, automate your success. Once you've figured out your budget and how much extra you can put towards your debt each month, set up automatic payments. Automate your minimum payments on all your debt so you never miss one. Then set up an additional automatic transfer for your extra payment to go directly to your target debt, the smallest one for the snowball or the highest interest one for the avalanche. This takes the decision-making and temptation out of the equation. Your debt payoff plan will be working for you in the background without you having to think about it every single day. Getting out of debt without making more money is a marathon, not a sprint. It requires discipline, creativity, and a powerful why. But by getting clear on what you owe, choosing a strategy, ruthlessly cutting expenses, negotiating your bills, and staying motivated, you can absolutely do it. You can break the cycle and build a future where your money works for you, not the other way around. You've got this. Thank you so much for watching today. I hope you found these tips helpful and empowering. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up. And consider subscribing to the channel for more content on taking control of your finances. And I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. What's one small change you are going to make this week to start your debt-free journey? Let's support each other. Thanks again, and I'll see you in the next video.